Oh yeah, my name's Rusty and I'm Amber's brother. Oh, I'll tell you what, I really liked it and dints. So I am just going to sit here until you play the next episode. Alright, so thank you to Rusty for opening out this week's episode of Dirt and Dints. Now, in this episode, we will be making up the pantry for the canopy, finally getting onto it, and the way that we're going to be doing it is using Legos. Now, you probably think like Legos in the yellow little brick men and like the Lego movie, but no, we'll be using this sort of Lego. So this is Bunnings metalmate connector joints. And what it allows you to do is you hammer in square tube 25 by 25 aluminium, and basically you can create non-welded corners and edges and create like a series of boxes and different sort of shapes. You can't do round shapes, but you can do like rectangles and any sort of square 90-degree joints. But we're going to be using that to build our pantry. Now we'll call it Lego, but it's not really Lego, it's just adult Bunnings Lego. So we'll come up with a design and we'll start working on our plans. Alright, so here's some quick little drawings I've drawn up. So originally we started with a square, it was like no, then I started with a U, and then I realised that I didn't like the design because I was just drawing the exact same thing, so I bailed on that one. Then I came up with this little design, so we've got our bottoms, our top, and then we create a little shelf, which I'll talk about that in a second, and then just some shelves and shelves in there. Then I finally arrived at this design. So what it is basically we've got 3 tiers of shelves. You've got one here, one there, one there. Now this little square here, that correlates to things down here, which is travel buddy or travel ovens sizing. So this little bottom shelf, sorry, top shelf corner thing here will fit a travel oven in there. And then we'll have a shelf in behind that, which will be 470 deep, 180 tall. Then we'll have 200 tall shelf, 200 tall shelf. And then in here, we're going to fill it in with some aluminium composite panel. So it will just be top, side, and then we can fit in like bits and pieces. And that would be basically the front of the pantry. So we might build like a, what do you call it, paper towel holder. And then you can fit like bits and pieces in there. Now, on the front of the actual pantry too will fit some foldable cup holders and some bottle top openers too, so we can use it when we're drinking and cutting stuff up for the kitchen and cooking dinner. Anyway, so this is our opening in here. So obviously we've got between this gas strut there and then here, so we've also got to add in the distance for the runner, which we've got 2 900 lockable runners coming in, so it's the exact same width, call it width, but it's the depth as the kitchen. And the reason I've opted for that is because then the will sit nice and flush with the front here and the back to put in a partition wall and then a box at the back. So now that we have our quick little design and we've looked at the space that we're going to fill it in, we'll just start cutting up and putting together, and it's going to be a fluid sort of build. We'll build, readjust, build, readjust. Anyway, talk about that later on. So we're going to jump straight onto the Makita metal drop saw and we'll just start cutting our 900s and then we can build from there. So let's get into the build.
We go forever now. We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm at your center, yeah. You wish that you can do better, no, I won't let them, We go forever and ever, yeah. I go and create the pressure, yeah. You wish that you can do better.
So we've got the base things all cut, can't think of the word at the moment, but they're cut to 900, so they run flush with the kitchen. I keep saying pantry, but we're building a pantry, and we'll have to get our draw runners to get our distance for the side there and then measure what our across will be, and that gives us our width. And there's a creepo. Anyway, let's measure that up. So I just went and cut, as you can see, the 2 pieces that run as the bottom for the pantry, and I've realised that I've cut them too long. So what I did forget to do was to allow for these joins, obviously to make up that 900. So I had to go and cut an extra 50mm off the length, because obviously got two 25s, 25 this corner, 25 that corner. So we'll quickly jump back onto the cutter, quickly cut out, and then we'll hammer in these pieces, and then we can measure up for the width of the pantry. So let's keep going.
We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm much sad, yeah. You would say you can do better, no, I won't let up. We go forever and ever, yeah. I go and create the pressure, yeah. You would say you can do better, you would say you can do better, yeah. We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm much sad, yeah. You would say you can do better, no, I won't let up. We go forever and ever, yeah. I go and create the pressure, yeah. You would say you can do better, you would say you can do better, yeah.
So we've cut out uprights, which are all in here, never mind the single black one. We'll change colours, just using spares. So we're going to duck down the bunnings, grab an extra couple of bits and pieces, and be able to keep on moving forward with the build. So let's go down. Alright, so we're down here at Bunnings in Dandenong, as you can see. Now, I'll try and flip the camera around if it wants to work. Alright, so in the aluminium section, these are the joiners that we're looking for. So they've got all different ones. You've got little just flat end caps. You've got fixing ones, just little corners. You've got three-way joins, which is these are the ones that we need. So we need 2, 3. No, that's a T. We do need. I've got some there at home. We don't need a T. No, that's not a T. So he's got to rummage through the bin pretty much. A bin scab, I guess. Find the right ones we need. Which here we go. So we got them. Now that will do the next shelf. Shelf will go up to the corner. So we need another 2 to do the back. Oh, will we? No. We'll just need T's for the backs for the next 2 shelves. Alright, so that'll be our next setup. We'll have our shelf in this one. They'll come up to 2 T's at that one. And then that will come up to a corner. So we'll need a couple of these ones, which we can get later at the date. But then we'll go up. Anyway, we've got enough for now. So we'll go grab these ones and head back and keep working. So that should be enough for now. Let's keep going. Right, so we are back in the workshop, so we can keep moving. So let's do it. Alright, so we got our next layer connectors in. So we'll do one across here, go up. There'll be our last one for that side. We'll run about to halfway, then we'll have a support go across, and then back into there, and then the next one will come up, next shelf up, and then cross, shelf down, boom for the travel buddy, cross down, and then into that next step. So starting to take shape slowly, but that's it for tonight. Gotta be a good neighbour. Can't keep using the cutter because it's almost 6 o'clock. Council says no. So we'll come back in the morning and we'll keep pushing on. So we'll see you for the night. So we're back here this morning. So we left off, we had the pieces pushed onto the frame from yesterday. We picked up from Bunnings. So pretty much we'll measure up 150 again, which will be the same as here. Cut them and then join it all. So we'll get cracking straight on.
We go forever now. We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm much sad, yeah. You would say you can do better, no, I won't let up. We go forever and ever, yeah. I go and create the pressure, yeah. You would say you can do better, you would say you can do better, yeah. I know that I can do better. I'm so in love with the cheddar. I'm so in love with my
So we got the next risers in. The next we'll measure across through these ones. We'll do the long ones. We'll have a break halfway, do a support across because it's going to be our most heaviest shelf, and then across again, and then we got some extra joins to come up, back, around, step down, down, and then into this one. So we'll keep moving and see how it's looking too.
I go and create the pressure. You wish that you can do better. You wish that you can do better.
So unfortunately, we've had a breakage in the joins. We've had one break there as I was trying to. That one there? Or was it this one here? I can't remember. We've had a breakage anyway, so we've busted it in the arse there, and that one there. So that would have gone in like that. That was sitting there like that. So we're gonna have to go down to Bunnings and get some more pieces again because crap, I busted it. But that's the joys of working with this stuff, is that because they're such little cuts, they get a lot of tension on them, and you got to bend them to try and fit them and hammer them in, so they're prone to breakage. But anyway, we'll duck down to Bunnings, grab some more, and keep moving. Alright, so our new draw runners from Huntsman Products turned up. So I've gone and gotten the 900, can't even talk today, 900mm long draw runners. They're rated to 125 kilos, which we're nowhere near going to hit with the pantry, but we just know that it's good rating. Anyway, got a helicopter going overhead, so it might be a little bit noisy for the audio. Anyway, so that's going to go get bolted on the side here. Now I've got my piece of MDF that I've thrown somewhere, which I've got to find, and that's basically going to space it up enough that we can then bolt it onto the, so it'll pretty much look like this with that in there. Will look almost like that, but just a couple mil high like that, and that's where it will slide out from. So I'm just gonna measure the opening from top to here just to double check that if I lift up that draw runner, we're still gonna have enough room to go and fit the whole pantry in plus the height of the draw runner. So I'll measure that, and then we're gonna go drill out riv nut the side of the kitchen for us to put the runners on, and I'll do that all on time lapse so you can see how I do that. So we'll keep moving on with that little project now.
I want ends by the case, Lord. Get the millions and lay low. Take my what I'm gonna wait for. Put my bros on the payroll.
Alright, so I've gone and drilled out the 3 holes for the draw slide with the drill bit. So we end up using a, see if I can see it here, 9.5 size drill bit, and that will allow us to put in an M6 riv nut for us to screw in a countersunk Phillips head bolt, M6 bolt to hold the draw slides on. So I've got a Tool Pro riv nut kit. So basically all you need to do is find out what thread size you're going to be using, and then after you've found that out, just put the camera down. You can then go and put the right rod. So in these Tool Pro kits you get an M6, an M4 and an M5. Anyway, so basically let it all the way out, screw it all the way out on the rods there, make sure I don't lose it like I almost just did, then let it out like that, screw in the riv nut on the end till it hits that end, so it should look like that basically, and it's all open still. Now the key is when you do it, you just do it till it stops. It's not like a pop rivet gun where you do it pass and then it pops, or else you'll actually damage that thread capsule. So basically now that's in, I can just go and flip it with my hand. I'll see if I can get it with one hand. Insert it like that. I can't get it with one hand, so try and put the camera down and do it like that. Put it in, squeeze it till you get it. Another bit of a squeeze and that should have it. Which it does. And then basically unthread it. Now I'll try and show you on the back end. Might be a bit hard to see, but it's left a bit of a sleeve in the back there. And basically what it does, it's got a collapsible part on the actual thread, so when it goes in and then you squeeze it, it pulls it back, pulls the thread back on that collapsible sleeve, and then it basically sort of sandwiches itself onto the metal. So it's good for if you need like a thread on something you can't get behind to put a nut on. You just put a nutsert in and you're good to go. So I'll go and put 2 more nutserts on this side, and then we'll be able to bolt on the draw runner to this side. So that'll be pretty cool. Anyway, I'll quickly go and do that and we'll have a look. Alright, so we got our first draw runner all installed side. So that's all good. So basically just got the 3 nuts on the side there, and that's riv nutted in, and then obviously on the pantry I might either heavy duty pop rivet onto the aluminium, or I might do the same riv nut it, but just be mindful the riv nut does add like a very, very fine millimeter, because it's just got to have that space for the actual sleeve. So if you're using riv nuts, just know that you are going to push it out a little bit. So we might pop rivet it, because I'm just being mindful of pushing it out a little bit. Might push it and hit that gas strut, which is this gas strut here I'm talking about on the top. So anyway, so I'll go and I'm going to use some either aluminium 50x50 right angle or steel, and basically that's just going to create a bracket. It's hard to see, but it's going to create a bit of a bracket for the other side, and it will sit on, and then the draw runner will sit against it, and then that creates a frame for the other side. So we'll do that tomorrow because it's getting quite dark and I'm starving. Anyway, so we'll come back in the morning and we'll work on with that one. Alright, so it's the next day from last night. It's generally what happens. Obviously it's a bit darker. Do want to apologise for my stumbling with words last night. I was pretty knackered. I ended up doing the Melbourne Firefighter stair climb, which I've done in 8 minutes 9 seconds. So pretty happy with that time. Next year we might go for sub 8, sub 7 time. I might actually train for it. Anyway, so now I've come back the next day. I've gone and put in the other side for the draw runner. So I've gone and used 4 L brackets from Bunnings. They were like $1.50 each, and they're just a zinc plated 50x50 bracket. I think it's just like a shelf bracket, but the holes work perfectly for the gap that I needed off the floor. And anyway, so now that's all in, we'll go have a look at the rest of the pantry, which is sitting over here. Now that's the frame there pretty much. So off our plan, obviously we've got our step downs. So this little front section will be a little shelf, and then an angle section will come up from that corner to that corner. Floor for the travel buddy will sit in that little space there. Obviously the top, shelf, shelf, shelf. So with this 3mm plywood, 3mm MDF, it's going to have a floor, maybe a floor, top, back, front, and then we'll cut some like 25mm strips just to sit on the sides there, and basically it's just to enclose the inside a little bit so everything can't just like slide out. And then in that gap from the top of the next, will be the bottom of the next shelf, and the top of that strip I'll run a paracord just to sort of hold everything in, or maybe some bungee cords, I don't know. We'll play it by ear when it looks like once it's all done. So now I've got it all marked out on that plywood, I keep saying plywood, MDF. I'm going to grab the circ saw and we'll go start cutting our floors in and screwing them all in and keep working. Oh, let's keep doing it. So as you saw, I've gone and cut a whole bunch of MDF for the pantry, so I'll show you what we've done so far. So this is what we've achieved. We've got the back on the back, we've got the floor in. I need to get another length. We'll go floor at the top there, and then to cap it on the top there. Also done face. Now with a router, I'm going to probably route out a bit of a hole. This one will stay enclosed. We'll obviously put in an angle up there, make it all look nice and schmicko. And then I've gone and put these brackets now there, because these gaps are 150 tall. I've gone and put one at 100, one at 50, and for the sides, rather than closing in or using a lip and then minimizing space, I'm just going to go and get some of that bungee paracord, and that will go in between here to here. So we'll have one go up to the top, that one down here, down there, and basically it'll just stop everything flying out the sides, and it'll stay nice and tight because it's bungee cord. So it means we can still move it to get stuff in and out, which is good. So that's basically the process so far, what I'm up to. Also too, while we're here, is we're going to put in a bottle top opener there, and then maybe 2 fold away cup holders here so we can put your drinks in. And then, sorry, doing this with one hand, then when it packs away, it's all nice. Now it's not going to stay MDF, or that raw, sorry, MDF, drop me pen. It's not going to stay raw MDF. So once we've done the build, I'm going to run around the whole thing with a sander, basically sand all the aluminium, all the edges of the MDF, so it's all nice and ready for paint. And then, like we done the cab, and if you want to see that episode, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in it up the corner here. We will use the air spray gun and Raptor coat the whole thing, so it's really protected and nice, and sort of rough a bit, so things aren't going to roll around too much, but basically you see that nice protection on the MDF, and sort of water treats it too. So anyway, now we've got that, I'm going to go down to Bunnings, pick up some more MDF, cut it all, and keep putting it in, and we'll show you how we do the bungee cord when we get up to that. So let's keep moving. So I've gone and given the pantry the first coat of paint. Now, I didn't end up using Raptor just for cost effectiveness, and it's just too much. Anyway, so I've just gone and sprayed it with some fiddly bits, pressure pack cans from Bunnings. They're like $4 a can, and just use gloss black. So now that's done, I'm going to go and put the bungee cord on the sides, which will just hold everything in, and I'll do that on the camera so you can see what I'm up to, and then we'll show you the end result. Alright, so we've got the pantry all painted up, all in, paper towel holder on, and if I can get it with one hand, which I can't, I've got to go 2 hands. We've got the retaining cord on the sides, so that's just a Bunnings shot cord, a bungee cord, and all that is a L bracket, and I've gone through the back of it and just done a granny knot. It's probably a bit hard to see, but I've done it on these ones. And up here we'll have like a cutlery tray and maybe a spice rack, just some easy to grab stuff. And this will have the bigger items. Anyway, that's the pantry all built out of Lego, Bunnings Lego and MDF. And the paper towel holder I've got from Bunnings as well, $3.50 or something. So that's our whole pantry pretty much built for the canopy now. So we can move on to the next project. Alrighty, so that is the end of this pantry build episode. Now, if you liked the video, if you got something out of it and you're going to build your own, make sure you hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with all our upcoming episodes. And make sure you hit that bell icon so you also get the notifications to say there's a new episode out. Also, if you like our merch, head to dirtdints.com.au to go get your own hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, anything you'd like. So head over there and get yourself some merch. And we will catch you in the next episode.